All polling stations that opened at 7 a.m. have now been closed in Zimbabwe. Voters came out to elect a new president and members of parliament and local authorities as well. But some were left with disappointment. For more on this, we're now joined by SABC News reporter Khayelihle Khumalo, who will give us a synopsis of what took place today. Of course, Khayelihle, we saw reports coming out of Zimbabwe today, elections being marred with many delays. Just take us through, how voting day was for Zimbabweans.
Well, absolutely, Mbali. That has been a very perennial challenge for these elections, where you've had quite a number of polling stations who have been facing a number of logistical nightmares in terms of the ballot papers that did not show up on time, or some of them really did not show up at all. So there was frustration from the electorate, who some of them really came as far, just as early as 6 a.m., 4 a.m., but they were just waiting patiently, really just to have this particular opportunity. And some of them at this particular hour, I do understand they are still waiting, because we do understand the Zimbabwean Electoral Commission has made an announcement that those polling stations that are affected, they do have the it's a 12-hour threshold to make sure that they do meet, just and make sure and satisfy all the voters. But also, we do understand that there has been a proclamation from the office of President Emmerson Mnangagwa, really essentially extending these elections really for the president, for the members of parliament, but also for the local authorities. And, we just got an opportunity to speak to some very enraged voters. If we may take a listen to this.
Waiting here to cast votes, my vote particularly. Why? Because today is a voting day. I've been here since morning, just after 7, before 7:30 I was here. And we are still here, and the ballot papers are not yet here. We are still waiting. There's no official communication that has come across or come to this end. So we don't know what is going on, whether they're coming today or not. Until we are given that official communication, then we know. We're still here. As you can see, the queue is long here. People are waiting anxiously to vote.
We came to the polling stations at around 5 o'clock. Was our wish. We thought we were going to vote around 7, 8, as we have seen it in the newspapers, that the polling stations were going to be open at around 8 a.m. And this is 8 p.m. This is a shame to the people of Zimbabwe. We are not happy.
Even to stay for 5 days. Want to cast our vote. We are patient enough until whatever.
This is an opportunity.
It is our opportunity. It's better to not to suffer for the next 5 years. It's better to wait for 24 hours than to suffer to wait for the next 5 years.
We are still hoping we are going to cast our vote today, but the ballot box for the country has just been received now. But we are yet to get our names there for us to get into the tent. Then we are going to wait for our tent. Then we cast the ballot.
Well, very much so. Quite very frustrated voters there, Mbali. But someone who really knows the system here is Evans, and he joins us now. In 2018, he was one of the independent candidates. So, Evans, we're just talking off air about the situation here in Zimbabwe. You're talking about so many areas in Harare that are really affected. But what do you make of these reports that President Mnangagwa has decided to extend the voting process?
Polling stations, they opened at around 7, but around 7, 23% of the polling stations were opened in Harare, but there are many areas that they didn't open on time, like Warren Park, Code Comfort, Glenview 3, they received the ballot around 6 p.m. So we just said that the president just proclaimed that those affected areas, they will continue to vote until tomorrow. But people, they are frustrated because these Harare and Bulawayo, they are the strongholds for the opposition, Triple C. So it's a bit chancy for us, for the people. there's this much fear. There's people, because people, they turned out around 6 a.m., but up to now, some people, they did not get their right to cast their vote. So it's a strategy to the ZANU-PF, because this rally is basically for the opposition.
Where does this leave the credibility of the Zimbabwean Electoral Commission? Because they've been saying they're very independent, they're very impartial, and they've blamed some of these delays to the nomination processes that dragged in court.
The Constitution stated that the ballot papers must be received within 48 hours. So the ZEC chairperson, she was saying that she's prepared to run these elections, but we're surprised today they didn't have enough materials. As well, the issue, the opposition, they didn't get the voters roll on time, because they just get it on soft copy. They didn't get it on the hard. They didn't get it on soft copy. So the challenge is that an election, the foundation of election is the voters roll. So these elections, from my own perspective, I think it's not free and fair from the way that it was conducted, and everything is in the favor of the ruling party, as well as people, they've got fear to vote like this. This organization called Pfizer, where it is instructed people where to vote and what to do. So that is some of the challenges that these elections, from my own perspective, I don't think they are free and fair for the rest of Zimbabwe.
Okay. Before I let you go, President Mnangagwa talked about peace, saying that it's important to have peace in the pre-election phase and the election day, and also post-election. But you talk about this fear. Why are people fearful?
In 2018, like in the town, the police are there to safeguard people, but people were gunned down by the people that they're supposed to take care, like the army. They come and shoot the people. So at the moment, it's a bit tense to know. We just know after the elections were announced, maybe probably Saturday or Sunday, but at the moment in Harare, people are fearing, like, they don't want to do, because once you get in the town, you don't know your safety, because the ones that should protect you, they're the ones that can come after you. So we are just hoping that we want peace, because peace, it is good for us. Once there's violence, it affected businesses, it affected a lot of things. So we just appeal to the members of Zimbabwe, and like my colleagues, my brothers and sisters, let's continue with peace and let's maintain the current situation, because everyone loves peace. No one likes war.
All right. Thank you so much indeed for your time, Evan. So, Mbali, that's one of the former candidates for the parliamentary race in 2018. Evan's really just giving us a sense on the election day in Zimbabwe. We got an opportunity to go to other areas. Everything was working out so well in other areas. So, obviously, there are areas of concerns, but also we've seen a statement from the Zimbabwean Republic Police calling for calm, saying that they'll be keeping law and order across the country. With that, back to you in studio.
All right, thank you very much there. That is SABC News reporter Khayelihle Khumalo giving us that concerning update from the Zimbabwe elections. We now know that elections have been extended by at least 12 hours. And of course, this is due to some of the challenges being faced at some of those voting stations.